Welcome to the Stanford Lee Show, the place for song, story, musicology, and more. This week, what's the big deal? So what's the big deal? That's the title of this show. And what I wanted to share is this song that describes that for me. I've had experiences, and we all have. We've ended up in cities that we wonder why we're there at some point, because maybe the relationship went downhill or the deal went downhill, and yet we remain. And I think it's when we start living is when we get away from those places. I've been to so many cities, and I probably wouldn't want to go to another city again. I'd be fine with that because I find most of them boring and expensive. For me, I've been on a lot of business trips and a lot of vacations, and I guess it's recently that I've come to appreciate small towns, not only for their inspiration, but for their uniqueness and beauty. And that's what I try to describe in this song, to capture a piece of that uniqueness and beauty. For me, it is an escape. I think for some songwriters in country, the small town is a place of nostalgia. It's like, oh, that's where my heart was broken, or that's where I left this girl behind, or something like that. For me, it's become kind of a place to explore. It's like, I want to get away, or I want to party, or I want to see something new that's not, something that has some history. So that's what attracts me, and that's what I had in mind when I wrote this song, Small Towns. You'll hear when I release the song what I had in mind for the arrangement, but being able to bring saxophone into this song I found was really interesting, because as I'm working out the riff, I'm thinking, what could be more urban than a saxophone? It's like when I think of country, I think of banjo, maybe somebody playing a dobro on the porch, or an acoustic guitar, but saxophone is urban, it's edgy, it's glossy, it's smooth. It can be rough and harsh, like a car horn, where you drive into the city and you're trying to find your way around. It can be quite annoying. But all those aspects I wanted to kind of pull into the saxophone part. Really, you're just going to hear me rehearsing tonight. But when I release it, I hope you'll enjoy that aspect of it. And so that's my creative 2 cents about why I use the saxophone in this song, other than saxophone's an awesome instrument. So musically, I was thinking, what really holds the song together? And for me, it's the guitar groove. It's like this repetitive bumped, 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 da-da-da, bumped, 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 da-da-da. And I realized producing this, I didn't want to lose that when I record the song. So I wanted to bring in different instruments, and I thought of having a bari sax maybe, playing that low part, but I got a couple ideas I'll share. So here, let me grab the guitar. So this is really the driving groove of the song. It's this simple part on guitar. And I'm thinking I'd miss some of that if I tried to do bass guitar. Like, it wouldn't punctuate it the same way. Bari would probably, baritone sax for those out there, it might swing it a little too much. But then I have the option of going old school, so let's take a look at this. This has been through some sessions. It's just a Chinese bass, probably played in a school orchestra. I upgraded it, got a bridge for it. I suffered with this bass for about 6 months to a year. I mean, I was literally taping my fingers because it had these terrible metal strings on it. I'll give you a tip. These strings, weed whackers, I mean, they're literally called weed whackers, make all the difference. So they're nylon strings. They have a good slap to them. So it's cool. You know, it's like if you could imagine a classical guitar. They have nylon strings. That's exactly what these are. So they work great. And this has been through some sessions, some rockabilly, newgrass, jazz, you name it. What I like about this is the tie-in with the guitar. Like, I knew if I did bass guitar, it wasn't going to have that same kind of snap to it. So I think this is actually going to capture what I'm doing on the guitar and reinforce it throughout the song. So dig this. It's great. I love the punctuation. I mean, you just feel every note. It's awesome. Here, I'll give it a little spin, eh? Yeah, love it. Some rockabilly bass, eh? All right. Playing around a little bit. Okay, so about this riff. I mean, I had it with the guitar. It, you know, just has like a punchy feel to it. You know, kind of suggests movement and, you know, maybe a driving song. And I'm thinking what I could do with that. I could, well, reinforce it with bass, upright bass. But also I heard in my head a saxophone part. Maybe a baritone sax or something to, you know, kind of bring more movement into the song. I'm thinking something along this line. And I'm feeling like my Western hat and a little bit of saxophone for this number. I think it's just going to reinforce the rhythm of it. And I just love big band music. There's usually some guy with a big ass saxophone, almost like drags the ground, reinforcing the line in a lot of these great songs. Even like rockabilly music, early rock, Billy Haley and the Comets. You know, you have Shake, Rattle, and Roll and Rock Around the Clock. It's like that saxophone in there just drives the music and reinforces everything. Well, this is what it would sound like in alto. Yeah, or maybe add a little growl at the end. Man, I think I blew out the monitors. And I'd like to share this song with you, Small Towns. I end up in some city with a lady friend. Intentions that once drove me come crashing to an end. Sometimes I wonder why my lady needs those friends. I dream I have a better life, and I wake up once again. And I wake up with dreams of small towns in my head, places I've been and journeys I'll begin. I'll wake up with small towns in my head. This flyover country is something of a dream, with rolling fields and sleepy towns. They call me once again. I take a nap on my steering wheel before I'm about to go, and wave goodbye to them city lights and heartaches that I've known. And I'll wake up with dreams of small towns in my head, places I've been and journeys I'll begin. I'll wake up with small towns in my head. Little breakdown here. My heart could stretch as far as I'd ever been, I'd take a little something from every place I've been. I'd hang out on the Gulf or along the Georgia shore. Don't need that much for living, don't need to ask for more. And I'll wake up with dreams of small towns in my head, places I've been and journeys I'll begin. I'll wake up with small towns in my head, and I'll wake up with dreams of small towns in my head, places I've been and journeys I'll begin. I'll wake up with small towns in my head. Them small towns call me back home. Call me back home. Thanks for watching. Give a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.